Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
All right, good evening, everyone. For those who have been watching the first end of Team Peterson versus Team Wrana, my name is Matt Sussman. Rory McCusker is alongside me. Good evening, Rory.
Good evening, Matt. It's been a great day of curling so far.
It has been.
I may have gotten lucky, or there might just be really good teams out there, but I've seen some incredible shot making and really interesting tactical decisions being made in these ends. It's been a treat so far.
It's good. You look at the C bracket, and there's a lot of really good teams, and this is a C event game. This is Saturday night, last chance for both of these teams to try to make it into the playoffs, and we have what has been sort of an rather open matchup here. I believe we have a chance for two here with a hit and stick for Team Peterson. So we'll get more back into this game in the second end, but that should be a 2-0 lead for Peterson going into the second.
Had some questions about if our houses are painted or they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there, and usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logo.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
And we're here into the second end of the C qualifier between Team Peterson and Team Wrana.
I see what I've done here. Apologies, viewers. I had the wrong rocks. The wrong team. That'll happen.
There's no penalty for throwing the wrong color, as anyone knows. You can just replace it, and I guess you can do it in this as well. But that looks a little bit better. So just to recap, that first end was pretty much all Peterson. They actually looked like they could have had a chance for 3. But they'll settle for 2. I think you'll settle for 2 pretty much any game. You go up against high-class competition. So
I wasn't able to. I was kind of working on some tech fixes behind the scenes here. Wasn't able to pay too much attention to the first half of that end, but it seemed like there were some guards and some rocks in play at first, but Team Peterson eventually finding a way to get rid of those guards and maintain some rocks in the rings. Ended up working out for an open deuce, as they would say.
It did. It was actually very back and forth. You had Peterson sitting 3 with hammer. Wrana called for a hit and roll under a guard. They got that. There was a clip of the guard, and then a miss here and there, which, it's first end, so those shots were not as precise. But Wrana taking the hammer here in the second, looking to match the deuce, if possible, here. So, as we mentioned, this is the last chance for both of these teams to stay alive, and all of the games on the ice are in the same situation. There's 4 matches. You get 4 more qualifiers for tomorrow morning. See a draw right through the house there, still in play, but not counting. And if I'm not mistaken, that is Robin Silvernagel subbing for Team Peterson.
Certainly looks like her.
So
I'm seeing 40 concurrent viewers on YouTube here. I'm willing to bet quite a bit of friends and family joining us this evening. Maybe some viewers in Sweden, maybe some viewers from Manitoba. Chime in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're supporting tonight. Maybe we can get some more info on these two teams from friends and family that are enjoying the broadcast here.
Yeah, those watching, we've noticed, are the ones that typically know the most about the teams. Any interesting tidbits that you may have? I've done games where I'm doing the commentary and someone chimes in. It's a friend or family, and they say, "Oh, it's their birthday today." So if you have anything like that, feel free to add it to the comments.
Yeah, I screwed up the lineups for a fervent Japanese audience this afternoon, and they let me know. So I appreciate that. I like getting it right.
We'll take a look back here at the action. Team Wrana trying to dig their way out of everything on the center line, and looks like they got one out, but Team Peterson / Silvernagel gonna have an open shot here to take out the red and possibly roll under a little bit. Sweeper's going furiously. That's a really nice shot, right under cover as well.
Mm-hmm.
So everything lined up here. Isabella Wrana calling for some type of peel weight shot, I assume.
Might be able to get all three moving here.
1, 2, 3. Wow.
Marvelous.
Incredible shot there. If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
I believe that
really,
was...
really impressive to keep the weight that high. It's still a solid, smooth delivery.
For Counting Rocks, I believe that would have been the second for Team Wrana. Which is Linda Stenlund. So still a center guard there, but now it's red. Still can be used.
This is third rock thrower Jenna Loader. It's played with Beth for quite a few years now. I'm not super familiar with this Peterson team, but you see their name popping up as you check scores and check tournaments, competition. I think they play quite a bit. It's tough to stand out in a curling province as strong as Manitoba.
Yeah, certainly a lot of teams. you get mentioned, that's a pretty good sign. One slips deep. A chance here to draw around. And this is Wrana's third, Almeida Deval.
And Almeida has played with Isabella for quite a few years. As long as I've known Isabella on the curling ice, I've seen Deval out there with her.
I believe Almeida is also an Olympian on the mixed doubles side. That one will just slip under the T line.
Yeah, turn into Linda Stenlund and Maria Larson. Just kind of having a little conversation after that one, discussing kind of what tricked them, what they thought it was going to do versus what it actually did. This is all early game adjustments that the front end and even the back end, as they try to read the ice, are making.
Also, for whatever reason, one of my favorite matchups and one of my favorite stats is Curling Zone's head-to-head skips to see what they've done in the past. These two teams have actually never played, according to Curling Zone, at least in a cash spiel. So they may be familiar with one another, but certainly not on the ice.
A relatively newer team in Isabella Wrana, not playing as many spiels in Canada as maybe some other European teams would, but I think that's going to change this year with travel a little more accessible, and seems like plans seem to stay in place a little bit longer in this kind of COVID weirdness that we've been in for a few years. It seems like teams are finally able to kind of plan their year and expect it to actually go as planned. So eliminates a lot of the logistical kind of weirdness, and I think we might see this team Rana playing more and more in Canada and the world.
And you're talking about tough to get out of Manitoba. Good luck getting out of Sweden.
Yeah, there's one giant in your way, and they are certainly that.
Absolutely. Oh, nice little bump and roll there for Almeda Deval. That is shot. He's undercover.
4 rocks down this intern draw path. Now teams are starting to get a better hold on what it's going to do. Looks like a few in a row got tricked with the ice kind of getting a little quicker, which is what will happen in the second end, especially when you wear down a draw path like this. So still subject to some change here. Fourth rock thrower Robin Silvernagel is going to have to really watch her rotation, her extension. Going to have to tell her sweepers if it's outside of that established draw path, because it will slow down and curl a little bit more. So these ones end up being a little tricky in that way. Probably going to have to start it outside the established path and let it curl back into that path. So an interesting team shot coming up here for Team Peterson.
Rock is released. Sweeper's waiting to do something.
Like we talked about, kind of waiting to see it come back into the established path, which it's doing now. So it caught some of that outside curl. Really well managed by the sweepers there to get that corner freeze.
Absolutely. That really, if you talk waiting, they really had to wait for that one. I think that does the job, though. Might be a little bit of daylight to get a little low on that yellow. That's exactly what they're going to try.
So some early season statistics for these two teams. Team Beth Peterson has played 15 competitive, like you mentioned, cash spiel, or I guess we would call tour games so far, posting a record of 11-4. Pretty impressive. Isabella Wrana, on the other hand, 25 games, so 10 more competitive games so far this season. 15-10 record, but you got to think that's been against some pretty top-end European competition for a lot of that. Can expect to take some more losses in those tournaments. Some numbers that stand out as far as I'm not sure what this kind of grouping of statistics is called, but hammer efficiency for Team Peterson, 5.51. So that means over half the time they have hammered, they are manufacturing a score of 2 or more. Pretty impressive statistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Team Rana, on the other hand, stealing quite a bit. Steal efficiency at 0.34. So of the ends where they do not have hammer, 1/3 of the time they will steal a point. So kind of contrasting specialties so far. Again, these are early season statistics, but just an interesting little kind of yin and yang there. We'll go full screen to check out this house.
believe Robin here is probably just going to close up this hole. That is the easiest way to score a few for Wrana. So just take that shot away here.
Two very troublesome
Isabella's
stones in the 4-foot button area for Beth Peterson or Team Peterson. It's going to take quite a bit of work for Wrana to move those around.
Especially since
Really
you
trying
just
to get
got
this
the
to
one
curl.
left. It's looking like a force here. I don't know if there's there's a dangerous shot for a few.
There is. Are you looking at that run back on the S of AWS air bar?
I was looking at the A, honestly, the other side.
Would you ever be able to count that stone? Would you ever be able to, just because of those two yellow rocks, almost undoubleable? They are signaling to see if there is some way that they could catch both yellow stones. With that frozen angle, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, and I think given the fact that back yellow would always go into the red, it's probably a shot for two anyway. So you play soft on it, and then maybe you spill the yellows out of the 4-foot. It's a shot for two for sure. What you don't want to do is lose your red, but I think if you play soft, you play hack. Maybe you keep your shooter or the run stone. And
what I can see Isabella signaling towards is that even if they do hit their own red, it's either going into the back yellow, like you had mentioned, Matt, or it's if they get the red on the top of the button on the nose, they think that the run back stone will at least push the other yellow out of the way. They're thinking that the most they can give up here is one, even if it all goes wrong. Nonetheless, huge shot here, second end.
Yeah, these are the shots we like to see and sometimes like to throw.
Going to the overhead here.
Close. Oh, just like we said, a little bit of a disaster. So instead of scoring the one, they take out their own. Team Peterson will steal and take a 3-0 lead into the third.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
We just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed doubles. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And we just got our shipment.
We've gone a little bit on commercials there, Matt. That's Greg Owasco, head ice technician of Grand Slam of curling. I think he's also involved in Curling Canada events, one of the leading ice makers in Canada and the world. Just giving his thoughts on Jet Ice logos. These beautiful logos we see on the rink. They use them worldwide.
Always listen to your ice technician. That's one of the commandments, I think. We're here in the third end. 3-0 lead on for Team Peterson over Team Wrana. Rory, were you surprised at that weight choice, that attempt to run back to try to score 2?
It's, I guess the balance is that the softer you throw it, the more likely it's going to stick around and count. But the harder you throw it, the straighter the rock will go. So I guess it's a preference thing. Just what do you think is your most accurate weight? How are you going to hit that 1/4 inch area of the rock that you're trying to run back most effectively?
Yeah, so the risk didn't work out. Keep the hammer and have a little bit of work ahead of them. Don't want that lead to get any bigger. So we'll see a lot of rocks in play this end. So just really quickly, I mentioned earlier, all of the games on the ice, these are C-qualifier games. Also available live on Curling Stadium. So we've got Team Ackerman versus Team Yoshimura, Team Kaiser versus Team Constantini, and Team Barker versus Team Kim. All of them looking to book a spot for Sunday.
Checking the YouTube chat here, we've got Jack Lee watching from HK. I assume that's Hong Kong. Very cool. Hello, Jack. We've also got the official Almeida Davao fan page. Lika til Team Rana is what I say. Fantastic. Love to hear it.
It is fun to just have people from all over. If that's, well, we're actually 4 different countries since I'm down in the States, so now we've got 4 countries at least watching this game.
Exactly. That's right, Canadian curling fans. We've got an American on the broadcast. Had some great curling times in the States. Was able to work 2 U.S. nationals over 2018 and 2019 in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Spokane, Washington. Serious, I'm not just saying this. It's my 2 favorite events I've ever worked. Just the energy. You can feel just so much excitement and passion. Everyone's trying to learn at those U.S. national events that I was able to go to. And I got to check out some more teams. Most Canadians would know Team John Schuster, maybe Team Nina Roth or Tabitha Peterson. Those bigger names. But getting to see some of the up and coming talents was very fun.
Yeah, the energy is certainly felt at a lot of our clubs. A lot of them haven't been around a whole lot, and they're just trying to pick up on the strategy and the excitement. I mean, they have the excitement. They've certainly learned the social aspect, I'll say, especially when you get into the southern U.S. So yeah, it's something we love to watch. It's something a lot of us have picked up in the last 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, in a country like Canada where clubs are struggling to stay open every year, more and more close, it's fun to watch the clubs that are popping up in the States.
It is.
Some really entertaining Twitter accounts as well.
Well, I mentioned it before. I'm from Ohio, and we've got a few clubs, and we have the fortune of being pretty close to Southern Ontario, so we have access to several of those. But things are popping up in Michigan and Indiana. There's new facilities going up in Indianapolis, just north of Indianapolis, as well as one in Traverse City, Michigan. Those are brand new facilities that will be open in December. There was a new building in Mayfield, which is just in Cleveland, Pittsburgh just got a new dedicated facility. My club got a new facility 7 or 8 years ago. So the growth is everywhere in our region.
That's just so excellent to hear. I'm going to have to come Bonspiel in the Great Lakes region.
That's right.
Able to make a really nice roll here, Team Wrana. Force this run back attempt. Big sweep call from Robin Silvernagel.
What a shot. That clears everything out of the house with the exception of a tiny little corner guard, and Isabella is going to use it.
These are always really tough draws to make. Not only is it a kind of a foreign area of the ice, you're really not using this area of the ice too much, but as that rock curls in and finishes, it actually curls away from the rings instead of into them. So really tricky for the sweepers as well to make sure that you get that rock in play.
Not often you put your broom on the edge of the forefoot and you're having it curl the other way. Just feels wrong.
It's unusual for sure.
Oh, you just get it by. What a class action shot right there. Not totally covered, but does force the run back. It was just made. Make it again.
Same thrower. Might be a shade less weight on this one. Two for two. Pretty impressive, Jenna Loader. Third rock thrower for Team Beth Peterson, skipped by Robin Silvernagel tonight.
On 100% on run backs at the edge of the house. I don't think we have that stat quite yet, but maybe one day.
Game number 7 of the tournament for Beth Peterson, so kind of winning and losing in this triple knockout format means you're going to be playing quite a bit. Game number 6, on the other hand, for Isabella Wrana. So one extra game of experience for Team Peterson, but the other way of looking at that is another game of fatigue and kind of mental wear and tear. But it seems like Team Peterson's really got a handle on the way that their rocks are moving. Certainly impressive hits so far this game.
Absolutely. I really enjoy watching this bracket to see where teams have come from. Team Peterson was really close to qualifying, I believe, in the A event and didn't do it, so this is their third chance. And then, yeah, Team Wrana, just kind of a pattern of wins and losses, getting them here. And sometimes you have those teams that run the gauntlets where they have to win 3, 4, 5 in a row. This is a really fun format. So hit and roll there, trying to stay away from that wide corner guard, seems to do the job. The rollback very difficult, and this is looking like a blank.
Yep. Oh, 2 rocks remaining for Team Wrana here. But as you said, the only guard, this orbiting super far out stone, it's gonna be pretty tough to make use of it.
I don't think you can roll back under the corner at all. Just make your shots, make the easy open shots, and execute and try to score some points later in this game. Here's Silvernagel with her last. Looking to hit and stick. Maybe a bit of a roll.
Yeah, not a critical roll, just trying to make things a little tougher on Isabella Wrana, who can throw quite a bit of weight, much like her brother. This is going to be tough to stick. She'll have to miss it by planting it right on the nose in order to miss this mic attempt. Hopefully I have not cursed her.
Last rock's out of the hand. Keepers aren't worried. Neither am I. That will be a textbook blank end. Team Wrana still down 3-0. We'll hold on to that hammer going into the fourth.
We just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed double. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Well, this end is looking a lot like the other couple ones, with a rock in the house, forcing the action in the scoring area. Team Wrana still down 3-0, looking to put up some corner guards, trying to score some points here.
Sweepers want nothing to do with this one. Hoping that it's going to stop in time. It will.
Yeah, never had a worry.
Team Wrana might be looking for 2 corner guards here. I thought they might consider playing a delayed corner strategy with this Team Peterson rock in such a good position. But Team Wrana thinking 4th end, down 3 points. Let's use our free guard zone as much as we can. So I think we're going to see 2 guards here from Team Wrana. Lead Melissa Gordon.
Looking for that late finish. Not quite lined up, but they're both in the 4-foot. Still too early.
Yeah, not exactly what they're looking for, but
yeah,
kind of occupies the front of the 4-foot. Eventually, when Team Wrana comes to clear those stones, it will be a little bit easier now that that angle is set up to double them off. But as predicted, they're using this corner guard. This looks very big once again. Yeah, I thought we might see 2 corner guards there from Team Wrana, but instead electing to use their corner. Their existing corner, I should say.
Yeah, that one goes a little bit deep, but it's still there. Might be worth chasing, a little bit tempting.
Yeah, you can see Robin kind of hum-hawing back and forth. Is this rock really that valuable? Is it worth chasing? Our 2 are lined up to jam right into it, but in a tie game scenario, might see her throw a center guard and get a little risky, but up 3 points. It's the scoreboard call to come and chase this Wrana stone in the rings. Second rock thrower, Catherine Dirksen.
And I'll roll underneath as well. Now they're laying 3 and getting to the point where you probably don't want any more in the house or it's going to get a little cluttered.
It's real nice that they didn't leave that out on the wing for Team Wrana to make a freeze attempt against. Team Peterson just getting a little bit more results, a little bit more specific results from their hit and rolls and such. It's been the difference so far in this game. Just that extra little bit, making a 90% shot into a 100% shot. Repeat that over and over again, and you'll gain an advantage, which Team Peterson has so far today. Slow on the cameras there. Sorry, trying to get that overhead view going for you guys. 75 concurrent viewers on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for some live curling.
Yeah, so nice little draw there to try to rearrange the furniture in the forefoot. That rock in a pretty good spot. They're just going to peel the open one. Force everything in the house now.
Quite a few rocks to come in the end yet. It's definitely a victory for Team Peterson to convince Team Wrana to play into the rings this early. It's just going to give them that much more opportunity to make a double or make a hit and roll. And really, a team with hammer that's trying to score 2 or more would prefer a guard or at least some type of overlap or run back type positioning to work with. Trying to score 2 in the open rings, you're always just one little mistake away from leaving a double or some type of clearing shot for your opponent. Trying to hold the line there until the bitter end. Ended up getting a bit more of a tap than they were looking for.
I think Robin's lining up there might be a double here.
Yeah, skipper Robin Silvernagel, very experienced and always quite skilled at reading these angles, understanding positioning, jockeying for positioning in the house to create these opportunities. And she's not going to wait. She sees the opportunity to remove 2 red stones here, and they're going to take it.
Red into yellow into red is the call. This one needs to curl a touch. And she'll just
ends up splitting off the top one. Definitely not a favorable rearrangement. Yes.
Yeah, that's a bad break. Now they're all lined up. Now the red's in the middle, sandwiched in there. The call here is just to bump the shot stone and sit right there, and there's no double. Good weight choice there. Just nothing too crazy. Oh, look at that. That's a really nice shot. So, no guards in play. This is exactly what Team Peterson wanted, although probably not this ideal configuration here. work to do to clear out all the reds. That's a really nice shot by Jenna Loader.
Mm-hmm. Another good one. Jenna's had a great game so far. And that kind of brings me back to what I mentioned earlier this end. You know, Team Rana, yeah, I mean, if they throw more corner guards, Team Peterson's very likely to just peel them off. But what that does is kind of keeps the scenario they had before like a little bit longer here. I'll try to explain that a little better. By coming into the ring so early, it's given a very strong hitting team in Beth Peterson a chance to really clear house here. And even though Team Peterson didn't make all of their shots exactly perfectly, every contact was enough to push rocks further back in the rings, remove red stones. And now Team Rana, with 3 rocks to come, really are not working with much as far as something to hide behind or something to draw to. They're already really trying to manage angles very carefully to even have a shot at 2.
Yeah, so now you got to do exactly what they did, is find spots in the house to separate them as much as possible. And boy, I don't know how much you can get them separated than that. That's a wonderful spot.
I thought they were trying to come a little deeper and a little bit further left to load the double to jam, but they very well could have been going for exactly that spot, like you said, Matt, getting as much separation as possible.
Yeah, I don't think that was exactly where they wanted to either. I don't think you aim for the deep part of the 12-foot, but worked out nonetheless.
Thrin Dirksen discussing things before skating down.
So she's going to take a crack at this long double. Robin Silvernagle.
Why not, really? You got to remove 1 red.
Yeah.
Bit of a shove there from Robin. She could tell right away. We tried to maximize weight just a little bit too much there.
Yeah, so they'll try this again, Team Rana. They did indicate they did want this more in the 8-foot, about 3 feet off the center line. So that would make it very difficult to double. And even if you're Team Peterson, giving up 2 is still not really bad. If that is what you're left with, you'll let them have it.
The advantage to Team Rana playing this type of end is they've really got a feel for draw weight now, and they've been able to experiment with various paths in the ice. And if they're able to score 2 or more here, or able to kind of keep the game alive, this experience, this draw weight experience, an experience with the paths, is going to come in really handy later in the game. So that's a little more where I thought they were trying to place their first one, load up that double to jam in multiple places. I mean, let's get a little closer view here of the rings. If you hit this one just off nose, I think there is a way to jam both red stones in the rings. So pretty good positioning for Team Rana. You can see Team Peterson lining up the backwards or slash double, trying to throw the top red across the face of the second one.
Yeah, I think the pro miss is just get it too thin and give up the 2.
Sure. Definitely don't want to jam this. So Robin will be positive on her release here. Looks pretty close. 1 and
2. Wonderful shot by Robin Silvernagle. Just like she dreamed it up.
Almost no lick of sweeping on that either. Didn't need it. Yeah, that's really a statement shot. I mean, Team Rana working so hard all end to just get their angles right. They finally do get a very favorable position, set themselves up for perhaps a mistake, but no. Robin Silvernagel not having any of it.
So that just leaves a standard little draw to the 8-foot for Isabella Wrana. Put yourself on the scoreboard. That would
Right
be
on the lid.
Yeah, that's a single point. So Rana's on the scoreboard. They are down 3-1. Team Peterson will take the hammer into the second half of this C qualifier game.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sasktel.com/sponsorships.
Had some questions about if our houses are painted or they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there, and usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logo.
We've got a center guard up here in the fifth end. Team Rana looking like they might score a couple, but a wonderful shot by Robin Silvernagel. A great little over-the-top double. Forced him to the single, and Team Peterson taking a 3-1 lead with the hammer into the fifth end.
Yeah, it's been a story of Team Peterson just getting really specific with their made shots. Understanding where the best position is and the whole team working together, sweeper, line call, thrower, to get their rocks exactly where they want them. Earlier on in this game, the draws were not quite there for Team Rana, but that fourth end, throwing a draw basically every shot, I think has kind of snapped them into gear. Look for Team Rana to bounce back as far as their shooting percentages here in the fifth end.
Yeah, as they've definitely settled down a little bit. You know what's at stake? Both teams are playing to stay alive in this event and play tomorrow morning. Don't know if the matchup is determined, but there are 4 teams that have already qualified for the playoffs. We have Clancy Grandy's team, who's done quite well early in this season, and Team Unji Gim in Korea. And then in the B qualifiers, we had Savannah Tiranzoni and Abby Ackland qualify for the playoffs. The other 4 teams are going to be determined tonight, and one of those is on this sheet.
Yeah, you see the teams that have already qualified: Clancy Grandy, Silvana Tiranzoni, Abby Ackland, and Yunji Gim. 4 more will join them at the end of tonight.
We've got some rocks in play, specifically some center guards. She'd love to hit them, but there's that ornery little thing called the free guard zone.
Instead, they'll occupy the paths, the in-turn and out-turn path to the forefoot. Pretty satisfying position to be in. Really nice depth on both of those draws. Not too deep, not too wide. That's right where they would have wanted both of those to go. So strong play from the lead on Team Peterson continues.
Absolutely. Team Wrana looking like they need to steal, perhaps force, but right now, Yellow's in a much better spot.
That's really not going to do much for Team Wrana.
Yeah, that was a little bit wide, looking like they were trying to maybe just sort of chip and roll. But missing everything.
Robin's kind of smiling to herself right here. Knows that the center guards are the main danger, but it's tough to peel something that's protecting your rocks so well.
You almost want to change gears and score a couple here. You're not really in any danger.
Kind of taking what the defense is giving you. Might want to just control this forefoot even more. Second, Catherine Dirksen being asked to make a little tap around the center guard here. A lot of movement here on this in-turn path. Wow. Must have been a little light, but I am really impressed, kind of surprised with how much that curled.
Yeah, even if it was a little light, it's completely undercover. There's really not a lot of yellow rock you can hit. Left to run in one of your own center guards that you'd love to keep up there, but you don't have any other choice. That's not what they were looking for. They take out both of their guards, do leave a center. One of them's open. One of the yellow rocks is open, but he's not looking good for Team Wrana right now. They need this game to stay in this event. You know, you mentioned earlier, Rory, this is a Team Wrana, that has played a lot so far. It's middle October, and I believe you said they played 25 games so far. Mm-hmm. It's an aggressive schedule so far, and you still got all of your international play ahead of you. That's a lot.
It definitely is.
Team Wrana, after this event, they're going to go to the Tour Challenge. They're in the second tier, I believe. That is going to be in Grand Prairie, Alberta, starting, I believe, Tuesday. So it's going to be a quick turnaround, whether or not they win or lose this game. So the curling continues for them.
Really looking, every rock that goes by here just gets tougher and tougher for Team Rana to conceptualize how they're not only going to fight their way into the forefoot, but then take control of it and try to steal a point or force Team Peterson to one. Not looking possible right now. They're going to have quite a bit of work to do here. That's going to further disrupt the intern path.
Yeah, also, I just misspoke. They're going to be in the Tier 1, Team Rana is. They're in the Tier 1, the Tour Challenge. Like, they'll play Jennifer Jones on Tuesday. So there is just not a lot of break in their schedule.
No, most definitely. Very impressive. The way these athletes not only kind of keep their bodies sharp, but their minds as well. It's really draining to maintain this amount of focus all day like this. I'm not sure what other athletes are asked to perform for 9 hours a day like this.
And by comparison, I play twice a week and don't exercise beyond that, and I think that's difficult.
I'm right there with you. Yep. Even at my club game on Friday, that was my second game in a row, and by the 6th or 7th end, I was already doing that fake sweep. You can't accuse me of not sweeping, but I'm really not doing much over here. Isabella Wrana really left with no other option here. She's gonna have to try to clear something out of the way in order to gain access to this scoring area. It's just gone too far. There's too many Peterson rocks in too good of positions. It's you can see her put her hands up. It's a frustrating thing. They've accepted that they're going to play quite aggressively and tolerate opponent stones in the rings, but just to have it not really work out. They're not done yet. 3 rocks yet to come.
Looks like they're taking Almeida down back to the other side. Try to talk about it. Looking to see if there's a good place to hide. Don't know if you can hit and roll off that stone that was just thrown under the corner. It's not your turn to have hammer. You don't want to be under the corner, but you want to put a red rock somewhere where it can't get taken up easily. Now this is going to have to be a setup shot somewhere.
Isabella Wrana getting right behind the broom. They'll try to manage this stone. Almeida Duval's last stone, 5th end.
That one is a little bit off kilter. Don't think that was the call, but
improves.
Yeah.
Still a lot of work to be done, of course, but with
Team
2 rocks to come, yeah.
Yeah, Steve Peterson is still sitting 4, so there is a lot of work to do. With hammer. So they might just plug this up. Regard is put up. Now thinking time again for Team Wrana. Are you even able to get to that rock you just rolled in there? Looking at running something in.
Yeah, sorry about that. Team Peterson really feeling the desperation from Team Wrana. Not really taking risks or trying to make difficult shots. Team Peterson just knows all they have to do is kind of keep plugging away, let Team Wrana play difficult shot after difficult shot, and hey, if they're able to make something happen, Steeler force, good for them. But strategy for Peterson right now is kind of, they know they're shooting well. Just sit back, keep putting the pressure on Team Wrana to make another difficult shot, and have a potential game-clinching shot at the end of this end.
Nothing from the
No sweep
yet.
on this run back attempt. Somewhat unlucky result
that
there.
Is, sometimes it's not your night, and so far it is not Isabella Wrana's night. The only rock she removes is her own. Silvernagel here, and Team Peterson looking for a way to secure a big score here in the fifth. I like where Melissa Gordon put her broom in the 12-foot. That would be a really good spot for kind of a Christmas tree like guard. Take away that double on the left there. You're left with a desperation run back if you're Team Wrana. This is made. Again, waiting for that late finish. Patience being a virtue. And I think that just might have curled enough.
Oh, I've just realized I've been on mute for the last minute. That's all right. You had it covered. I agree completely. You think Robin Silvernagel was just trying to rearrange those rocks in the 8 and 4 foot, understanding that this run back was definitely there. It's a bit of a pocket, pretty wide target actually. Run this rock back.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's the upside of this shot. She definitely needs this one if she wants to stay in this game.
Not quite as much weight for this attempt.
On off is always a
Managing
good sign.
This well. Oh wow! In slow motion.
So Isabella Wrana with a game saver of a shot. Yes, it is counting one so far. I don't think there's a hole there.
No angles as well to run back. That's looking pretty darn good.
You might have the little wiki ticky through the hole, but
looks like that's what they're lining up. Robin Silvernagel sees more through this hole than she does running her own yellow back. Reminds me of the nearly made Wrana run back in the second end. Nearly made, got a little unlucky with how it turned out. But she makes no mistake with this one. Nails it. That's a, like you said, game-saving shot. Although, if Team Peterson's able to sneak through this hole, that's going to be a big count of 5.
See if the hole's wide enough here for Robin Silvernagel. Sweeper's on it. And she's through. Oh, what a wonderful shot.
Back-to-back beauties. Isabella Wrana and Robin Silvernagel.
That is a handful of points. And that is going to be an 8-1. Looks like a final.
Yep. I think that schedule you had mentioned earlier, Matt, might have something to do with that. Team Wrana knowing that they've got a big tournament ahead of them this coming week. No need to stick around and get that extra practice. They feel like they've played enough.
Yeah. They had a good end there in the 5th, looking to potentially steal, and they almost did it. But with them having to move a couple provinces over, Team Peterson will take the 8-1 win after 5 ends. Their playoff matchup is still yet to be determined. But their game is alive, and we still have several other games in the C qualifier on here on Curling Stadium. You want to pick one of those?
Yeah, Team Peterson's got to feel pretty good about themselves coming out of that game. That was a really clinical, really specific with their makes, and Robin Silvernagel doing what she can do, be an elite shot maker. Look out for that team in the playoffs tomorrow.
Yeah, that's when you get these C qualifier games, you see a team playing really well, you start to wonder what happens. But if they play like that, they are certainly going to put a scare and possibly make some waves in the playoffs.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Like Matt said, check out the extra games going on in Curling Zone. Got 5th end action, 6th end action, so bounce around, get all the curling you can.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later in this tournament.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.